Today, I want to talk about, recently I've seen videos about people that are standing up in kingdom halls, people that are confronting Jehovah's Witnesses, that are standing with a card in the city, Jehovah's Witnesses that get confronted at the door when they knock on people's doors. And I realized that it really doesn't work out often. And I want to talk about why that is and what kind of experiences there are when it comes to confronting Jehovah's Witnesses and what is maybe the best way to do. Let's discuss that. Okay, let's get into it. So first off, I'm going to start with like types of situations that people are meeting Jehovah's Witnesses or they want to confront them with their Bible verses or whatever. I'm going to talk about that. First, it's like new people that are getting to know Jehovah's Witnesses. Maybe the Jehovah's Witnesses are coming home to their house. They're interested in becoming a Jehovah's Witness. And they are confronted with things that they might not agree with. And they start to realize slowly they are not allowed to ask questions. And that is where things can go very wrong. In my personal experience, I remember being like 14 and I was not allowed to ask questions at my mom. My mom was like, "You have to listen to me." I was like, "I have a question, Mom. Like, I don't understand this." I was quite a little bit angry because I've never been told what that was about. And as a teenager, of course, you're getting into a little bit of a more agitated state of asking things because you're interested, but still you feel like you're not allowed to ask things. And I was like, "Mom, how is it possible that, the devil was a fallen angel? And how is it possible if everything is like good in the world and everything is perfect? How is it possible that he turned like that? If Jehovah has created perfect beings and whatever, how did he turn evil and against everything?" And that is something that I didn't get any answer on. My mom was like, "Shut up, please shut up, and don't ask me any questions about it anymore." And I was like, I don't care anymore. I really don't care about you anymore and what you have to say. And this religion is shit. I was like, this religion is shit. And I didn't want to have to do anything with it. And I think that's also when it started that I didn't care about what my parents had to say anymore because I didn't get any answers and not even a way to talk about it. She didn't even come up with anything at first or whatever. And I can understand that it's going to be very frustrated with people that are new to being a Jehovah's Witness, that they are slowly seeing that they are not allowed to ask questions. This can also lead to people becoming a PIMO or like a PIMO. There's a person that is physically in but is mentally out. They are becoming detached from everything that's happening there, even though they're still attending the kingdom halls and other meetings when it comes to like Bible study or whatever. But they feel like, oh, I cannot ask any questions or I am mentally out. But the problem is that they can get shunned and completely out if they are expressing themselves. And this is a problem. And a painful problem. Recently, I'm gonna put this in a video as well while I'm talking about it, is something that I've seen is that people are starting, I don't know if that happened before actually, but I'm seeing videos about it now, like shorts about it, that people are going to a kingdom hall or another meeting and they are starting to stand up and they start say that this topic that you're talking about is not true. This is the verse that is saying this and this and that. They are escorted out of the kingdom halls or the meeting that they're attending, and the people are looking like, oh, whoa, what is happening? Like they're silent and they're like, what is happening? I think it just doesn't work if you do it that way. I understand, and especially if you're starting to realize things, especially if you really want to get your point across, I think it doesn't work. And I'll tell you why. Because you are usually seen as a person that has gone crazy there. They are believing in what they are believing in. And they are brainwashed. They are indoctrinated. Sometimes for like 40 years or whatever, people are maybe 20, 40 years in and it's not working to try to make them see. And why is that? Because they're indoctrinated already. So you cannot make your point as the only person. I understand you want to do that. Let me get an example from when it was a COVID time. During COVID, I remember a guy was standing up in a grocery store, he started to yell, to scream there. So I'm also gonna call them Kingdom Hall screamers, because they start to talk like loudly and want to make their point across. And I really understand, but it doesn't work. And this was a guy that was starting to scream like, "You people are sheep, and this is not okay. And why are you getting yourself a mouth guard or something like that? You know, why do you want to be shut off from the truth?" But it was a very uncomfortable situation, and he absolutely didn't win anything with it. You know, he came off as the crazy dude that is trying to make a point across, and it's absolutely not working. So that's what I think about it, and that's how it feels to me. I've also seen in the same time that a woman was a little bit yelling at her children, and there was a guy and a girl, and the guy confronted the mom at her car, and he was like, "You know, you cannot talk to your child like that, you know, like you just did in the grocery store. I heard you yelling at her, and you cannot do that." And she was like, "Who are you to talk about that? Like, who are you? Like, I don't care. Shut up. Just go away, you know? Just go away. I don't care." And he was like, "You know, you are a bitch," and stuff. It just, and I was taking that in from, I was getting my bicycle, and I was taking that in, and I was like, okay, what is happening here? Like, you can play a hero, you can try to be a hero, but it just doesn't work out, you know? It just doesn't work out, because in that situation, this guy showed that he was acting the exact same as the mom did. So it doesn't work. It's just like fighting fire with fire. I think that's not the right way to do it. And when it comes to people receiving Jehovah's Witnesses at their door, I've seen a lot of people have this, "I don't want any believers at my door," people that are trying to sell me religion. "I don't want them at my door." People have these like little plates at their door for that. I remember someone said at their door, that was kind of funny, in the 90s. It was like, it was in Dutch, it said, "Geen gezeur van Jehovah's aan de deur." I don't want any annoying Jehovah's Witnesses at my door. That's basically what it said. I think people receiving Jehovah's Witnesses at their door, I understand, because it's your own property. People bought their house, they're renting it. And these Jehovah's Witnesses, I am so involved. I just know exactly what they look like. I just know exactly, because I remember the whole Remembrance of Jesus Christ that happened recently. It was the Last Supper. It was the 2nd of April, and people were, I think it was inviting people to the meetings. So I've seen them walking around, but I think I didn't open the door, because I didn't know what it was either. And then later on, I saw them walking away, and I was like, okay, I think I know exactly what they're up to. And I saw my neighbor, and she was like, it's an older lady, and she was like, okay, I was talking to them, but I was really watching them, you know. She was afraid of them. She felt afraid, like she didn't know what it was. And I'm happy she was cautious. For anyone at her door, it doesn't matter if it is a Jehovah's Witness or anyone else. You don't know, you've never seen these people here. So, but they apparently, I think they rang my doorbell, and I don't know. I didn't know I was doing something else. Maybe I was recording a video, actually. So I see a lot of aggressive people, and I understand a lot of aggressive people when it comes to Jehovah's Witnesses at their door. I don't think that has to happen. Also, the whole foot in the door method, I've never seen that before. I've heard about it, and I've never experienced anything. I've never seen anything like that. So no, I think the aggressiveness is just not working. It's absolutely encouraging for them to say, "Oh yeah, now you see, the world has become crazy, and we're so holy, and we're staying calm and stuff," you know. I think it just doesn't work. I'm getting into the people with the cards. I've also seen these usually undercover people starting to talk to Jehovah's Witnesses with a card outside. I think you've seen them before. They're standing outside. Usually there are two witnesses, two witness rule. Okay, two witnesses outside standing with a card with lecture in it. But there are also people that I see, they are making videos about confronting people at a Jehovah's Witness cards, you know? And usually I just see it just doesn't work. It just doesn't help. They are believing, they're coming up with Bible verses. You're coming up with Bible verses. You don't know what to tell them or ask them. You think you're doing the right thing. And I think it's you know, I think it's a good thing. But it just doesn't work because they're gonna think you're absolutely crazy. And you see, we are getting confronted by the world. You know, they're trying to get us down, and it's not gonna happen. You see, we won again. Wow. You know, we know exactly this is the truth. We know what we're believing in, and this is the truth to us. And for other people, and there's no way to discuss with them because they keep on holding on to their own beliefs and their own truth, what they believe in. Yeah, I really wanted to talk about this because I think it's important. I think this is also a reason maybe, and I'm not sure if it is, but in a lot of court cases, this is going wrong because people are emotional and they don't know how to handle it. Some people have just left the congregation, maybe as an elder or whatever. They're extremely emotional, and I understand this. I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not going up to these cards. I'm not going to a Kingdom Hall. I would like to go to a Kingdom Hall or a meeting, just not in the province I've lived in, where my mom went to. That would be crazy if she saw me there. That would be crazy. Okay, but because she's watching it online now, so I'm still thinking if my parents maybe are POMI or used to be PIMO or something like that. I don't know. I still wonder. I still wonder because I feel like they've never been. Well, my dad used to be, but my mom, like, I don't know. I really wonder. You know, my conclusion to this topic is that I think education is very important when it comes to becoming a Jehovah's Witness, when it comes to being a teenager, when it comes to Jehovah's Witnesses at a door. I think it's very important to educate others, and especially people that are already looking for guidance and for being educated instead of the people that don't want to be educated. You know, there are a lot of people that don't want to be educated and a lot of people that don't want to know, and they are believing what they're believing in, and you won't get through them. Talk to them when they are doubting themselves and what they're doing, and you don't have to push them in a certain way. It's more about that you are able to talk about it, you know, that they are struggling and that they are doubting their experience as a Jehovah's Witness, as an ex-Jehovah's Witness, whatever. Some people are ex-Jehovah's Witness and they don't know if they should go back maybe or something like that, you know? I think it's important to listen to these people and educate about the things that you know. I think it's more about taking care of others instead of screaming at people that they cannot hear. You know, they are not ready to wake up. I love this. I love this topic when it comes to Jehovah's Witnesses waking up to the truth, their own truth, and what is actually happening, and if it was right. And I really understand people have been going through terrible experiences. You know, they are angry and they're sad, or they don't want anything to do with Jehovah's Witnesses anymore. They are done. May it be about the blood transfusions, may it be about what they teach or how they see the Bible as literally, or there's no hell or no heaven for everyone. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for maybe you're homosexual, whatever. It's just, I understand it's very difficult to be able to get through, and you will only get through people when you're listening to them. They will repeat whatever they have been told. They will only repeat. Jehovah's Witnesses will repeat. Jehovah's Witnesses at a door. Jehovah's Witnesses with a card. They will repeat what they believe in. You cannot change them. You know, you cannot change anyone that is strongly believing in whatever they're going through and whatever they're doing. So that was it. Thank you very much for watching, and like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for interacting as well. And I'm gonna say peace.